I pride myself on honesty on this channel, and you know that I don't pull punches. I call developers out on their nonsense whenever I feel like it's needed, and I can say that this language learning game is and when I tell you a game is incredible, perfect in almost every way, and fun, I really hope you believe me, because in this video, I'll be digging into probably the best language learning app on both VR and pancake gaming, and showing you why today may just be the day you will want to start your language learning journey. Let's go! Oh, by the way, if you enjoy this video, make sure you hit that little like button down below to get more VR language learning and fitness reviews in your YouTube feed. Bye. Oh, and lastly, I'm also going to be giving away a copy of this game on the Quest 2 standalone, so if you're interested, drop a comment down below of the language you want to learn. There's a couple little extra steps you got to do, but you got to watch the video for that. Let's go. Noun Town is just flat out brilliant. The way this game was made is exactly what VR needs. A game that lets you explore, learn, and not feel like it's a learning process. You start off in Noun Town, and you get a fun little backstory about how the city has no color, and only you can bring it back by learning the different words. The tutorial's a bit on the lengthy side, but it's definitely needed as you will be using this app on a daily basis, at least I am, and currently the game offers several languages upon launch: Japanese, Mandarin Chinese, Castilian Spanish, French, German, and Italian. They're going to be adding more languages, but you have to log onto the Discord and actually vote for these languages. The graphical style of this reminds me a bit of Job Simulator with a mix of virtual reality. It's really cute and fun, and I like though that they went with this cartoony design style, as sometimes I've noticed that when games try to get too realistic, it just looks buggy and not realistic. I only have two minor complaints here. One, the ocean is really hard to look at when your town doesn't have any color, which it's hard to see that in the video, but in the headset it's really odd. And second, sometimes the cartooniness of the objects interfere with the recognition. The good news is if you hold them up to your ear, it'll tell you what it is.
餐巾纸
You get up past all this pretty quickly, but it's just a little odd at first trying to distinguish the different things from each other that look similar. So a little background information. I speak Mandarin Chinese on a low intermediate level. I know my strengths and weaknesses. I understand a lot, however, speaking is definitely my weak point. Mandarin is hard for Western speakers. Both the tones and the pronunciation can be tough to master. Chinese is not very diverse when it comes to phonemes. Most people learn with pinyin, a westernized style of learning, without memorizing the 20,000 plus characters, because Chinese doesn't have an alphabet. Fun! So let's check this out. You have words like si, which is pronounced with the tongue behind the teeth, like this, and the sounds very sharp. And words like xigua and dongxi. And then you also have words like cai, which have sounds more like a ts sound, like t. So you have words like cai, which means vegetable, and then you also have si cai, which is Western cuisine, and shu cai, which is vegetable, and then you also have shi, or depending on the tone, where the tongue is rolled to the roof of the mouth and almost has like an R sound to it. And then, depending on the dialect, if you go to Taiwan or some of the southern parts of China, the sh actually sounds like s, which can make it even more complex. Anyway, then you also have z, which is like for words like zai, which has a buzzing sound, si, cai, shi, or ci, or zai. Then you also have to throw the tones in, and even more changes happen. Si versus si versus si. Then si, and then the neutral tone of si. Okay. Oh yeah, there's more. Then you have to include the context, because some words are pronounced the same, but in the context of the conversation they can change, because you can only do so many different sounds with. There's only 4 or 5 tones if you count it. But no, there's still not done. There's 2. If you're combining 2 or more characters, this can also change the meaning. Like you have words like penguin, which is actually executive a goose. But if you were to say executive and goose, they're different. It's hard to explain. What I'm getting at is that Mandarin's tough, and Noun Town totally keeps you honest with the pronunciation, which is great. Apps like Duolingo are really permissive with the tones, and I think it's important that Noun Town is strict with this. And, you know, if you're a new user, you might find this frustrating, but it's necessary. You're gonna say the wrong thing if you don't. Plants. I don't know plants, so here we go. Time to learn.
盆栽
盆栽盆栽盆栽盆栽盆栽 So basically you wander around town, unlocking and mastering different words, thereby bringing color to the world, and the more color you have, the more people return to Noun Town. When people show up, that's when the game really takes off. You see, we're not talking about walking around learning objects, which is what it looks like from the outside, but no, this game digs deeper. If you want that, you can download Earthlingo on Steam. It's free, and that's what it is. People show up and you can start interacting with them. You can have basic conversations with them and learn how to listen and respond. I gotta be honest though, I think this is where the game really shines because the conversations are hilarious and the voices are so well done, at least in the Chinese version. I can't speak to any of the other ones. I was cracking up at this conversation here.
我8点起床
我8点起床 I get up at
你几点起床？
What times do you get up?
每天早上
Everyone.
我大概7点起床。
So when you're learning a language, there's a few important things to consider that I want to talk to you about. First, the closer your target language is to your native language, the easier it will be for you to pick up on. And this actually works in reverse. The farther away it is, the harder it is to learn this language. And I'll be honest, Mandarin and English, they're very far away. For those of you who have learned or are currently learning a second language, you know how this goes. For me, some words take forever to stick. For example, the word camera has always been tough for me to remember. It just doesn't stick. Flashcards, Duolingo, repetition, just nothing made it stick. But in class the other day, one of my kindergartners who speaks zero English had a camera with her, and I had to tell her that she couldn't bring it to the gym, and I was forced to do that in Chinese. I had to embarrassingly look up the word on Google Translate, a word that I've seen and heard a million times, 不要相机, and it's stuck. Now it's in my brain forever. Like I will never forget how to say camera. This tangential story is linked to one of the reasons Noun Town is so great. It gives you opportunities for meaningful interactions to link vocabulary to the real world. Having these silly little conversations and constantly making errors is important. You're gonna make a lot of errors, and Noun Town gives you plenty of opportunity to do this. My only wish, and who knows, there may be an update for this in the future, is that I wish the vocabulary that I learned was incorporated into the conversations I was having with people, because some of the interactions are just a little just like random. But again, this is a brand new game with a fantastic growth plan, and I know this game is just going to continue to grow. The mini games in Noun Town are a great way to reinforce vocabulary you have already learned in the game. You work at this little cafe and the customers come in and they order things from you and they only order the things that you've already mastered. And then you have to put them on the tray for them. So you're trying to work quickly to beat your previous high score. Another fantastic and a meaningful way to solidify your vocabulary. You'll want to master every word immediately, but I would advise not to because they rarely stick if you're trying to learn like a ton of words at once. This game recommends every 4 hours learn 5 words, and I feel like that's fair. If you're already familiar with some of the language though, I would add that you should try to colorize the words of the objects that you already know, and then master the new words later. That way your brain isn't completely overloaded with new vocab that you'll likely forget. The developers of this game are a small crew of responsive and hardworking people. The Discord is super active with ways to report bugs, language issues, and just servers to talk to other people who are passionate about learning languages in the VR space. The game launched with a few bugs, and they were very helpful trying to address most pressing matters, and then they fixed them within the week. 菜单 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 菜单
菜单菜单
Oh no, not this again. 菜 I'd recommend checking out the Discord. There's even a place to vote for languages that you want them to add next. My vote is for Cantonese. I want to get better at Mandarin and then learn Cantonese. That would be really cool. Fujonese would also be dope, but there's really not a lot of resources out there for it already. So who is this game for? Honestly, I would say this game is perfect for people who maybe have an introductory level of their target language and want to continue to expand their vocabulary. This is also great for people who may be interested in learning a language and want to just dabble around and see if it's something that they like or is achievable. I pride myself on honesty on this channel, and you know that I don't pull punches. I call developers out on their nonsense whenever I feel like it's needed, and I can say that this language learning game is the best game out there for learning a new language. Better than Earthlingo, better than Monly, better than Learn Japanese to Survive, all of them. But, and this is a big but, a huge but, the world's biggest but, this cannot be the main avenue to learn a new language. It's a great secondary resource that you can supplement to help continue to grow your knowledge. You'll need something more in-depth to learn though. If you are trying to learn Chinese, I'd recommend something like Yoyo Chinese. If you're trying to learn Spanish, things like Dreaming Spanish would be a really good start. Nothing honestly beats real-world input though, and things like italki, but the list of language learning resources out there is crazy long. And if you're interested in seeing more boots on the ground version of Noun Town, check out my gameplay video where I walk you through the elementary parts of Noun Town while playing. The music's a little bit louder than I wanted it to be, but oh well, at least it's fun. Did you make it this far? Okay, here's how you're gonna get your free copy of Noun Town. Leave a comment down below of the language you want to learn, but include the flag emoji, and I'll gift a copy of this game to one random comment in 24 hours. But don't forget the flag, because that's how I'll know you're only here for the free stuff. My name is Ari with Fit Pro VR, and don't forget to get your, well, not your workout, but your language on today. Soda can. Your glasses, you ding dong. That's a gun, stupid.